Alright, honestly I think it's pretty good. Wow, I'm quite impressed actually. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing well. My name is Jonathan and I'm from Singapore, and today I have with me a really old lens. That's why it happened. Alright, this is the Sony E 55-210mm f4.5-6.3 OSS telephoto zoom lens. That was a mouthful to say. As this lens was released in August of 2011, it makes this lens almost 10 years old. Not only that, but this lens is designed for APS-C Sony cameras, which makes it a 80-315mm equivalent on a full frame camera, which makes this lens an extremely versatile lens. All I wanted to do was just to have fun with it and test its ability 10 years later in 2021. Specifically, I want to be testing if there is enough usable bokeh and when I'm shooting at a 6.3 f-stop for my aperture. So with that being said, I actually took this lens out and mounted on my A7 III to just take pictures of my neighborhood, of everyday life. If you want to see the full video, I will link it up here. If not, the next few shots will just be a snippet of the entire video, right? We're gonna see whether this lens is enough to produce bokeh-licious shots. Right, so with that being said, let's go. Right, this was shot at 3.6 as well, and I think it looks pretty decent to me. As you can see, the fence that is in the foreground and the buildings and the trees that are in the background is blurry. In my opinion, I think this is good enough. Alright, so basically I was walking by, the palm trees at Woodlands, right? And then it was early in the morning and there were a lot of shadows and silhouettes of trees like that. I think if you look at this picture, for example, right? The middle part of this picture is in focus, while the rest it's blurry, and this is shot at f6.3. So yeah, that's pretty good. So this didn't really make it into the POV video, but I think it explains it very clearly, Indeed, you do have decent background blur, even if you're shooting at 6.3, but that is if you shoot it all the way in 210mm. Put this picture off, not sure what flower is this, but hey, look at this is shot at f6.3 as well. The flowers are in focus while the rest in the background that is out of focus. It looks really good. And so we have reviewed the pictures, and I think that shooting at f6.3, it does give you a decent background blur. Alright, so with that being said, I can be rest assured now. Definitely in the future, if I want to upgrade to a 2.8, for example, maybe in the future if I do want to upgrade to like a 70-200 f2.8, then I'll do it. But I think for now, this lens, where's the lens? This lens, I think it works for me. Right, so I think in the next segment, I'll be telling you my experience using this lens and some pros and cons as well. Let's go. Right, so overall, I had a really fun time using this lens. Specifically, I like the fact that I didn't have to get up in people's faces or intrude into their private space to take photos of them. In addition, I think these are the pros of this lens. It is affordable, it is extremely cheap, it is lightweight as well. I like the fact that it is not attention seeking. When you're comparing this with, for example, the Sony 70-200 f2.8, that is a massive lens. This lens is very low profile and it will not garner much attention. And lastly, because it is a 80-315mm equivalent on a full frame sensor, this makes it an extremely versatile lens. Alright, but with that being said, there are some cons as well. These are my cons. The autofocus is not as fast as compared to newer lenses, but that is totally acceptable because this lens is a 10-year-old lens, right? I think when it comes to the autofocus speed, I think it's better if we manage our own expectations of this lens. But I wouldn't say it's very slow. It's usable, but it's not as fast as I would like it to be. Another con would be the fact that this lens only stops down to f f4.5, which is the fastest aperture, right? If you are someone who is very particular when it comes to like background blur and bokeh-licious shots, I don't think 4.5 would actually be up to your standard, right? But to me, you know, judging by the shots that we have seen previously, it seems alright to me. Like, obviously it's not as bokeh-licious as when compared to shooting at f2.8, but yeah, this is what you get. To me, I think it is usable. Right? So that is another con. You might want to have a faster telephoto zoom lens, for example. So in conclusion, I think that if you have cash to spare, if you want a low profile, a very lightweight, very portable telephoto zoom lens, and you don't mind the relatively slow aperture at 4.5, 6.3, I think you will like this lens very much. I think you'll have a lot of fun with this lens. Right, so with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it entertaining or informative in any way, do consider giving a like and subscribe if you want to see similar content like this. Right, once again, I hope you guys have a fantastic day ahead, fantastic week ahead. My name is Jonathan and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.